Today I'll be talking about the history and significance of OCD. There have been many movies, books, and shows based on OCD. Have you ever watched Young Sheldon? If you haven't, you definitely should, as it gives great insight onto OCD. OCD isn't just one thing, it's multiple. According to the National Institute for Health, an estimated 1.2% U.S. adults have OCD. Think about all the teens and kids under 18 that have it, or anyone out of the U.S. U.S. females are shown to have more OCD than men, which is completely understandable. According to the American Psychiatric Association, obsessive compulsive disorder is a chronic mental health condition characterized by persistent intrusive thoughts and repetitive behaviors or mental acts performed to reduce anxiety. A specific purpose in studying OCD is to understand its neurobiological and psychological mechanisms to improve diagnosis, treatment, and support for individuals affected by the disorder. Key aspects to consider include the role of serotonin and brain circuitry in OCD, the impact of cognitive behavioral therapy and selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Additionally, recognizing how OCD differs from common habits or perfectionism awareness. Understanding these factors can lead to better interventions and improved quality of life for those with OCD. Today, I'll be discussing the facts and events as well as the causes and effects of OCD. I'll be discussing examples and the significance it plays in today's world. There are many studies that play along into first diagnosing OCD. Religions play the biggest part in OCD as fear and perfection come to mind. According to OCD UK, sclerosity is a modern-day psychological problem that echoes the traditional use of the term scrolps in a religious context to mean obsessive concern with one's own sins and compulsive performance of a religion devotion, where in earlier centuries it encompassed all types of obsessions and compulsions. This quote gives insight and evidence on how OCD came to life and how fear and perfection came to play. Another big reason for OCD is genetic factors, which typically runs in families. Research has shown there have been many specific genes that are connected with OCD. Other studies have shown there are multiple genes rather than a single mutation. Another huge reason for the cause of OCD is environmental triggers. Stressful life events, trauma, infections, such as pediatric autoimmune neuropsychiatric disorders associated with streptococcal infections or PANDAS, and learned behaviors can contribute to the onset of OCD. Childhood experiences such as rigid parenting styles or exposure to anxiety, including situations, may also play a role. Now that I've talked about the facts and causes about OCD, I will discuss the historical facts of OCD. Though you would think there is no understanding and treatment of OCD, there is. Modern understanding and treatment during the mid-20th century to present day. In the 1960s to 70s, researchers linked OCD to biological and neurological causes rather than purely psychological origins. The development of cognitive behavioral therapy, particularly exposure and responsive prevention, revolutionized treatment. The introduction of selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors in the 1980s to 90s provided effective medication options. Other examples of historical background are Freudian influence in psychoanalysis. According to Sigmund Freud, OCD is described as a conflict between the ID, ego, and superego, attributing it to its resolved childhood conflicts and repressed impulses. His psychoanalytic approach dominated OCD treatment until the mid-20th century. Despite its lack of scientific evidence, more examples are advancing OCD treatment, exploring new frontiers. Another key point about OCD treatment is the ongoing search for more effective options. While CBT and medication may help, some cases are resistant, leading to research on alternatives like deep brain stimulation, transcranial magnetic stimulation, and new medication. This highlights the need for continued advancements in OCD treatment. Another important aspect of OCD treatment is the role of supportive therapies, such as mindfulness-based interventions and family therapy. These approaches help individuals better cope with the emotional impact of OCD, reduce stress, and improve overall quality of life. While they may not directly target the symptoms, they complement traditional therapies, offering a more holistic approach to managing the disorder. The history and significance of OCD lies in evolving understanding, from ancient misinterpretations as a moral or religious failing to its current recognition as a treatable mental health disorder, highlighting its impact on individuals and the importance of continued research and awareness. The history of OCD dates back to centuries, with early references often interpreting the disorder through a religious or moral lens. According to historical records, OCD was often viewed through a religious or moral lens, seen as possessive or a divine punishment. This perspective persisted until more recent times when the disorder began to be understood in medical and psychological terms. People with compulsive behaviors are sometimes subjected to harsh treatment, including exorcisms or isolation. Reflecting society's lack of understanding of the disorder itself wasn't coined until the 20th century, as psychological theories began to emerge. Over time, the significance of OCD grew as a scientific understanding of mental health advanced. Early theories were replaced with more nuanced views, recognizing OCD as a neurological and psychological condition. In the mid-20th century, the development of behavioral therapies and medications, such as SSRIs, marked a turning point in treatment. This shift allowed people to receive more effective care, improving quality of life and reducing the stigma around the disorder. Today, OCD is recognized as a common and treatable mental health disorder affecting millions worldwide. Its significance is highlighted by ongoing research into its causes, including genetic and environmental factors, as well as the development of new treatment options. Despite advances, the disorder still has a profound impact on individuals' lives, underscoring the importance of awareness, education, and continued innovation in both diagnosis and treatment. Today, I have talked to you about the events, facts, and causes and historical background of OCD. I have discussed the medical background of OCD, including treatments and genetics. I have also talked about environmental triggers and religion. I have personally experienced OCD firsthand and secondhand. A lot of people I've talked to have OCD, and I can see the role it plays in today's society. I think this is a very important topic to learn as the whole world sees or experiences this problem. Thus, we may now experience or see OCD secondhand and think it's people who just want to be perfect. It's much more than that. As you read my research, you can see it's caused by lots of factors that you wouldn't think of. Thank you.